So, it has been a long day since the Superman movie was released and a month worth of video, and I decided of one video I got inspired during this month. It was a Batman vs. Homelander made by Chuck U Gamers. It was explaining how Batman can absolutely beat Homelander's ass, or in the comic version of Batman. And it's got me thinking, can a different version of Batman beat a powerhouse? I'll compare the Crypt Crusader, the Dark Knight himself, Batman, hand-to-hand combat with not only 11, aka L, from Hawkins, Indiana Laboratory. In the video of the fight, before we start, we're not comparing any characters, just the Dark Knight Trilogy Batman himself, and we're only comparing his abilities, skills, combat, intelligence, and weapons, but not the Batmobile or help from Alfred. And also, this also one more point I want to point out. Batman is not allowed to kill 11, just defeat her or take her powers away, because to be honest, Batman doesn't kill, and it even shows it. Okay, let's start with 11 too. She's not allowed to use her mind control or teleport where peoples are by just looking at photos. She's only allowed to use her technokinesis, only technokinesis. To be honest, she wants to, she can use brute force to kill Batman or use one of her powers to do it. Begin the video.
And eventually, it will kill you.
First, let's start with 11's feats. And be honest here, she's just pretty basic. She's just a rat up girl experience, and she really isn't that smart. She's not a cutting person. And to be honest, she's only shown equivalent to her power, but always shown to be weak comparing. But now let's talk about that. We're just gonna compare her abilities and feats of power she can able to do. First of all, she tossed around 3 grown men behind her for brute force of power, and she was able to snap necks, throw peoples in walls. Vice of Vecna, she was able to outpower or outbeat a person who has technokinesis 4 years older than her. She was also to flip cars with ease, even toss it to peoples. One of these feats also was shown in the scene was toss and even lift a freaking van, and when I searched it up, it was 4,000 to 5,000 pounds in maximum weight. Impressively, because she was just a girl. And one of these scenes right here, she was also lifting up moving a helicopter army. It was a military helicopter army. Searching on it, it was a UH Black Hawk 60 helicopter that can weigh up to 13 and 650 pounds. But one of the most incredible feats were lifting a heavy water tank. That was a 9 project from season 4. And calculating the mass and the size of it and the weight, I checked all the photos of it and then checked it in the calculator. And checking that this was 3,000 gallons or 25,000 pounds to be short, making this one of the most heaviest object far yet that she ever lifted. After all of that, let's mention the characters. First, 11 was able to stun and even defeat Billy, or a flame Billy of a strong version of him, was strong enough to break solid things and even walls and survive the wall crashes. And another opponent she was dealing was the Devil Gordon. Strangely enough, the Devil Gordon in season 1 was struggling against 11, and even 11 was able to destroy the Devil Gordon. Matter of fact, this is the same Devil Gordon that broke brick walls and able to break door chains. The Devil Gordon was also considered to be superhumanly fast, was able to tackle 5 men, and was also superhumanly strong, making also the Devil Gordon really quick. After comparing all the feats that she did with other characters, one of the most powerful characters she was able to stand a match with was Vecna, another person who has the same powers as her as technokinesis. The same guy who had a ton of high intelligence and a lot of power with technokinesis, controlling it and defeating most of these peoples with the technokinesis, and 11 at 8 years old was able to match him and defeat him, even though that was a mistake because it created a new powerful form in the Upside Down. Vecna's strongest form, Euphremia in Stranger Things, was able to cause an earthquake that was 7.2 magnitude, that can be around small town level actually. To measure the fat, Vecna's powers are much more stronger than his original form is. So be honest, 11 stunning him in the ending of Stranger Things Season 4 is actually impressive, but doesn't make her that impressive yet until we compare it next to Batman.
First, your spirit. Oh, your buddy.
Now let's first start with Batman. And Batman's training is pretty good, but I will show you most of them. And his origins, since Batman saw his parents getting shot, he trained really hard and talent all the karates and trained by Ra's al Ghul to become the Dark Knight himself. And to be honest, Batman is a really great skill fighter. He mastered around different of martial arts like karate, taekwondo, kickboxing, boxing, and so much more. Before we go to the category, we're only gonna mention his AP, his endurance of the suit, and his combat speed, and his weapons too. Let's first compare his combat speed. His combat speed is quite average or okay. He was able to defeat around 12 men here in this Batman Begins scene, and he did the same thing in the Dark Knight as well, and enough to stabilize and defeat most of the groups of opponents. And we're mentioning the lower Batman, yes, the animated show. In this scene right here, Batman was also able to avoid bullets and fast enough to dodge a bullet. And this is not his first time, it's also a second time. Right here, when Deadshot blasted point blank at him, he was fast enough to even react to it, making him much faster as a bullet and avoiding it. Not really surprising because Ra's al Ghul said this in Batman Begins. Not really surprising because also he was trained by the League of Assassins. Because of this, Bruce Wayne was an expert at hand-to-hand combat when combat speed with Ra's al Ghul at that time, and making his reaction speed and reflex can be measured because of Ra's al Ghul and fought Bane. He's also trained in the League of Assassins, and he was also a hand-to-hand expert and a strategist and intelligent martial artist that fought even against with Batman, even though he lost one time, but then came back. Making Batman not only faster, but making him much more quicker than other martial arts and Ra's al Ghul at the same time. After that, let's start with his suit next, and his suit, we're mentioning the Dark Knight one, and honestly, his suit is much more better at fighting, and be honest, his suit is much more endurance and can survive clearly anything, but I will mention one of those feats. Batman survived getting hit by the Joker and crashed from windows, was able to close ranges with pistols and rifles, and not surprising the part, it was able to cause a huge violent dent in the van. And how powerful it was, I think it can be at wall level because of how strong the suit was, able to crash and break and really won blows of Bane too. Matter of fact, Bane is also a strong opponent and was able to get hits by Bane and surviving a goddamn wall level because how he punched a concrete pillar and survived his hits with the suit. And not only surprising, his strong feats in his suits was able to push Bane, making this a wonderful feat because Bane at the power was punching walls and making Bane fall down is equivalently broken Isaac Newton's third law by pushing the force of the already endurance wall, making his attack potency at around the wall level, and making this, he can easily break heavy metal or even walls, and shown right here, he was able to break Deadshot's helmet, making him really strong in attack potency. After that way, we're comparing his gadgets next and his tech. Honestly, he's using a lot of weapons, and most of them are his gauntlets that was also able to shoot and stun the Joker. And another weapon he uses is an EMP rifle that was also able to stop electricity or lights and flicker them. And also another one, he flies with his cape, able to glide, and another one is a bomb. Even though it's kind of dookie, I'll be honest, it is also able to break walls. Another one that Batman uses is his bats, just in case he uses them to back him up and defeat other enemies of his or stun others with the bats, I guess, in the movies. Batman also has a gadget of solar lens that can track and find where are the peoples are, or it can track just like a bat is, and that's his only gadget to defeat 11. After starting with the video, who wins? Starting on all their feats, I assume that 11's telekinesis can stun or overpower Batman, but the greatest advantage that Batman has against her is his intelligence and his martial arts. In his intelligence, he can actually outsmart 11 and figure out who she is or where she lived. Because of his martial arts and combat speed, I bet that Batman can dodge and avoid 11 touching him with her telekinesis. I know some fanboys will say, oh, 11 would just snap Batman's neck, but in reality, it's just the reason she can do that is because she stuns or overpower already idiot characters who can't even fight or don't even reaction time. Batman isn't perfect too because he easily gets stunned or overpowered by villains like Scarecrow, who can just put a scare talks on him and make him weaker, and because of that, it's not kind of fair. But also, 11 loses her powers against Mind Flayer Worm that literally lose her powers and lost her telekinesis. So Batman's gonna figure out her powers and immune system, how she controls her power and manipulates others. Be honest, 11 isn't smart at all and can easily be manipulated, and I honestly agree that his martial arts and his intelligence can easily overstun 11. I think with his prep time, he can figure out 11's weakness and can easily find her weakness over her telekinesis and take it away. And so I bet that Batman with prep time can actually lose 11 because it doesn't matter how much telekinesis he uses. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll be honest here, this video took me like 1 month to make, and before I'm gonna say why it took so long, be honest, I had a lot of mental health issues, and because it was breaks and school days, I had to postpone my videos and I couldn't focus. And most of these videos I got inspired from others who made fight videos of characters, and I got kind of inspired or something. And before you're gonna criticize me, I actually love Stranger Things. Sometimes these people just overestimate the characters a lot, and I just don't agree with these peoples. So yeah, thank you guys for watching all the way through, and I hope you guys subscribe to the video, and I hope you guys enjoy, and I was gonna make more videos after this, so thank you.
I'm Batman, and I'm gonna school these two hippies in the milk gallon challenge! I didn't even wash my ass today. Fake Newtons are delicious. Sometimes on the weekend, I'll pick through other people's garbage for Cracker Jack prizes. I could take Floyd Mayweather, and I could take that Irish guy too.